Couple of weeks back, we made a video regarding how to live cheaply in Australia. And in that specific video, I talk about how I actually paid only $10 for the whole year for my mobile phone plans in Australia. And I talk specifically about a technique known as No, YouTube doesn't like that. So we're gonna call it SIM hopping. So in this video, we'll talk about what this SIM hopping is, how it actually works, and I'll give you a step-by-step guide on how you can actually do it yourself as well. And obviously to save up some money on your mobile phone bills. So if you want to know more about how it is done, I highly suggest you to watch this video till the end, as I will cover all the details you need to know. So let's understand the concept of SIM hopping. What does it actually mean? SIM hopping is basically changing mobile phone providers based on whoever provides the best deal for us, the consumers. So it is about switching from one provider to other provider as soon as we find a good deal out there. Now I did that process myself many years, and thanks to websites like ozbargain.com where you can easily find some of these deals. And no, this video is not sponsored by Ozbargain at all, but rather this website actually helped me to find out really good deals for mobile phone plans. So for example, I found out this deal on ozbargain.com regarding 6 months of free unlimited calls and texts with 25 gigabytes per month. That was from a company known as circles.life. So I literally had a 6 months of free calling, texting, and plenty of data as well. Now there was another deal like this for another company called Amazim, where they were offering nearly 6 months of prepaid phone plan renewals for just $9.95. And I remember that I had another deal like this which costed me nearly $1 for another 30 days. So I literally paid nearly around $10-11 for the whole year for my mobile phone bill. And it is certainly possible for you to do that as well. And some of you might be wondering, is it actually legal to do that? Well, all you're doing is basically looking out for the best deals out there. So there is nothing illegal to do this sort of thing. Of course, you have to provide all your details to these providers, so you're not dodging the system. You're just finding out the best deal out there for yourself. And again, it is certainly not illegal to do that. Now, some of you might be wondering why to do this SIM hopping. What's the benefit of doing this thing? The first and the obvious benefit is about saving money. You can save heaps of money when you are doing this SIM hopping. See the example that I gave you earlier, I might have gotten a bit lucky over there, especially with the 6 months of free renewals. But in all honesty, you will save heaps of money on your mobile phone bills if you do it regularly. In other years as well, I hardly paid $20-30 for the whole year as well when I was doing this SIM hopping. So that's the first and obvious benefit. The next benefit is flexibility. So clearly, you're not sticking out with one specific provider. In this exercise, you will be moving from one provider to the other, and that provides you with plenty of flexibility to choose from which provider you want to go with, depending again on the best deals out there for yourself. Now obviously, when there are benefits, there are some drawbacks as well. One of the first one is inconvenience. It can get a little bit tiring to find out deals every single month and switching to new providers each month. And to be honest, that is one of the reasons why many people don't do this. The reason being that it is a bit of time consuming process, and if you have no time, then it becomes challenging thing to do. And second drawback could be regarding the activation issues. At times there could be an issue regarding activation of your new SIM card, especially if you're transferring your old number into the new provider. It can take a bit of time, and at times you may be out of service as well. I had a couple of instances in my own experience where I have to live without my phone SIM card activated for a couple of days. So that could be some of the drawbacks of doing this SIM hopping. But as I said earlier, if you are looking to save some money, then this is definitely the way you might need to explore. Now here is the step-by-step guide on how it actually works. So if you want to do this whole SIM hopping yourself, this is how you need to do it. First thing first, what I suggest you to do, that you must have an unlocked prepaid phone with yourself. Try to have a phone that you can basically use with any SIM card. If your phone is locked to a specific network, then it becomes challenging when you are doing this SIM hopping. So I hardly suggest you to have that phone which is unlocked and it can work with any prepaid SIM card here in Australia. The second part is about research, where you need to go out and find out some really good deals regarding these phone plans, especially the prepaid phone plans. So there are plenty of websites where you can look up for these deals. I suggest you that you definitely should check this ozbargain.com.au, where I usually find out most of these prepaid phone mobile deals, then you can also look up on some other websites like Groupon or Scoopon, and there are some cashback websites that also usually offer cashbacks on these mobile phone plans as well. So there are a couple of really popular ones here in Australia. One is Cash Rewards, other one is Drawback. If you want to sign up for any of these services, we'll leave the link of that in the description box below. Also, if you know some cheap telcos out there, then you should check their own websites as well. So some of the popular telcos include Amasim, Kogan, Leica Mobile, Boost Mobile, and obviously there are many other such providers as well. But these are some of the popular ones, especially if you're looking for cheaper alternative. Now, once you find the perfect deal that provides you with amazing value, like for example 3 months for $5 or $10 of calling and internet, then go ahead and order that SIM. Now, it's interesting to note that sometimes you can actually make money on ordering these SIM cards as well. Some of the cashback services actually offer more cashback than what you actually pay for. So for example, in this screenshot that you're seeing right now, this cashback service known as Cash Reward is offering you $17.50 of cashback for the $15 prepaid SIM card. So you actually end up making $2.50 as a profit. That's also an amazing deal, right? You could be actually making money on the prepaid SIM cards instead of paying some. Now, once you receive your SIM card in your mailbox, it's time to activate the SIM card. And when activating the SIM card, it's important that you transfer your existing number if you want to keep that existing number with yourself. So that's really good option, because then you don't need to change to a new number each time you are switching to a new provider. So that's what I did. I actually transferred my old original number to a new telco provider, which you need to do it while you're activating your SIM card. There will be an option for that when you will be signing up. So to activate your SIM card, you need to provide your personal detail like your name, your address, your existing phone number if you're switching that, and also some sort of a proof of ID like your driving license number or your passport number and so on. Now, once your account is activated, you usually will switch the old SIM card and replace it with the new one. It can take up to 24 hours to get the new service activated. In my personal experience, it takes usually an hour or maybe 2 hours only, but it can take up to 24 hours. So I suggest don't throw away your old SIM card until the new SIM card is actually activated. And some of you might be wondering, do I need to cancel my previous prepaid SIM card? Not really. If you are switching to a new SIM provider, as soon as you activate the new SIM card, the previous SIM card will automatically be cancelled. So you don't need to necessarily go and tell the previous provider that you're transferring your number, because the whole process is done online and you don't need to necessarily go back and tell your previous provider about it. Now, once your new SIM card is activated, congratulations. Enjoy this new provider with a really good plan for yourself. By the way, the things don't finish here. Now, we need to continue to look out for deals every single month. So if you have activated a SIM card that is only for 30 days, you need to find another deal before these 30 days expire. Ideally, at least 15 days before this SIM expires. The reason being that it takes time for you to get your SIM delivered, and to activate it, it can take a day or two as well. So you don't want to be taking too much risk. Now, once you find a really good deal, it's time to follow the same process. Order the SIM and make sure to activate it before the expiry of this existing SIM card. I suggest you to activate it at least a couple of days before this existing SIM card expires, just to be on the safe side. And once you transfer your number to the new provider, then you know the game how it works next time. So that's the whole process of how it actually works. You kind of go from one provider to the other provider. We want to make sure that we keep looking for better deals each month and try to hop to a new provider as soon as we see another deal. Make sure to activate it close to the expiry of your existing SIM. Now, here are a few personal suggestions that come from my own personal experience for doing this SIM hopping for many years. First thing first is I suggest you that you look for a long-term phone plans if possible when you're doing this SIM hopping thing. So if you can look up for 3 months or 6 months deals instead of a monthly deals, it can avoid that annoyance of changing your mobile SIM card each month. So as I mentioned earlier, it is a little bit of an effort. So every month you have to look for new deals. Every month you need to swap your SIM cards. But in order to avoid that, try to look for deals that last maybe 3 months or 6 months. Of course, sometimes the deal may cost you a little bit extra, but it is a bit of convenience factor as well. And it comes from my personal experience as well. When I was doing a monthly thing, it was a bit of stressful thing to find new deals every month and then keep switching to another providers. But when I was doing it for 3 months or 6 months, it was way better. Another suggestion is that you should provide correct details when you are transferring your existing numbers. So when you're activating your new SIM card, make sure all the details are correct, because wrong details can lead to longer time for your activation, which sometimes lead to frustrations as well. Also, when you're buying a new deal, make sure to check the details of that deal. Sometimes these mobile phone deals needs to be activated in a very short time, like in 30 days or so. So if your SIM card is not expiring for the next 3 months, you may have to consider not getting that deal. Reason being that it will expire before you even can activate it. Another thing is, if you are in Australia, try not to get more than 5 SIMs under your name, as it might look suspicious to the Australian government agencies. Certainly not illegal to have more than 5 SIMs, but if you have more than 5 SIMs under your name, you can come under the radar from different government agencies. Also, when activating a new SIM card, avoid doing that out of business hours or on the weekends. If you do try to activate out of business hours, let's say after 6 p.m. or so, or on the weekend like on Saturday or Sunday, it can take longer to get your SIM activated. So do it within the business hours from Monday to Friday. Also, try to swap between different providers, as these deals are usually for the new customers only. So if you swap between one provider to the other provider, you become a new customer for them. And even if you switch back after that to your previous provider again, well, you're still considered as a new customer. However, if you buy it for the same provider, then that can cause a bit of issue, because then you are not a new customer. You are just an existing customer who wants to just get a new SIM card from the same provider. I'm not sure if it's making sense. But yeah, try to look for different providers if you are doing a SIM hopping each month. And last but not the least, put a reminder on your calendar each month before the expiry of your existing SIM card. And if you're doing it every month, make sure you put reminders of when your SIM card is actually expiring, so that you can start looking for deals earlier than that. As I said, ideally at least 15 days before the expiry of the existing SIM. So in a nutshell, that was the whole process of doing SIM hopping. So just to give you a quick recap how the SIM hopping works, basically you go out and look for deals for mobile SIM plans each month, and then each month or so you make a switch to a new provider, whoever provides the better value for yourself. And again, check some different websites like Bargain, Cash Rewards, Drawback, Coupon to find these better deals. And if you have any question about this SIM hopping, please let me know in the comment section below. I hope you find some value in today's video. If you do, please make sure to share it with your friends as well. And I want to know your thoughts on doing this SIM hopping thing as well. Have you done that in your life before? If you have, I would love to hear more thoughts on some other suggestions you have for other people. If you haven't, I would love to know if you actually would do that when you come here in Australia. As I said earlier, it can be a great way to save some money on your mobile phone bills. But everyone is different, so I would love to hear your thoughts on this SIM hopping thing. And if you're new to the channel, I highly recommend you to subscribe, as we got plenty of useful content like this on the channel. Make sure to check some other videos that we have on the channel, especially on how to live cheaply here in Australia, where I give some specific tips and hints on how you can live cheaply. And that's it for today's video. Hope you find value. Again, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.